Well, it is Christmas time, and you know what that means? Die Hard. Yeah. I love Die Hard. It's not my favorite Christmas movie, but it's probably up there. I've only seen it like twice, but it's legendary and it's awesome. So I wrote out notes for a Die Hard ranking like over the summer or something because I wanted to talk about the Die Hard movies because I got this excellent set of them for Christmas last year, as all five of them. Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Die Hard 4.0, as it's called in Britain, which I believe this set is from because I was not able to play this Die Hard 4.0 copy or Live Free or Die Hard in my video player because I think this is from Britain, but whatever. And then there's a good day to Die Hard, the harder extended cut. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna register with the camera here, but whatever. So I thought to myself, wait a minute, why would I do this Die Hard ranking now? Why don't I save it till Christmas time? Because Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. Yeah, as is the second one, but yeah, that's why I'm talking about it around Christmas time. I got my Santa hat, my Die Hard shirt. It says Die Hard on it. It says Yippee-Ki-Yay. And Hans Gruber Funko Pop. Now I have a machine gun. Huh. 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 Yeah, I want to quote Die Hard. Anyway, let's talk about these Die Hard movies. In last place is A Good Day to Die Hard, the last movie in the franchise that has come out. I mean, it's not terrible. It's kind of just a generic action movie with evil Russian people and a team of two dudes who are somehow able to take on all of them. I think it's a pretty good concept, pairing up McClane with his son Jack, who is played by Jay Courtney. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And I think they have decent chemistry. I think Jay Courtney does a pretty good job. But they already did the one of John's kids doesn't like him in Live Free or Die Hard with his daughter. And in my opinion, they did it much better. But, I mean, that part of the movie was kind of okay. The rest of it's just not really. McClane is just kind of treated like an idiot. He doesn't really know how to do anything now. And he's, messing up all the time. And that just... I don't know, that just... It doesn't really seem like it's all in his character. And I feel like at the end of the film, they're... Not again, in the middle of the movie, their conflict is sort of resolved too quickly. Whereas in Live Free or Die Hard with his daughter Lucy, it was only at the end was it resolved. So I feel like that could have been done better. The action in this movie is okay. It's really not all that memorable. I don't remember a single action sequence from this movie. But I mean, there's nothing horrendously awful about it either. It's just nothing memorable. The villains. Okay, even the weakest Die Hard films, which I'll talk about in a second here, they have memorable villains at the very least. This movie does not have a memorable villain at all. Not at all. I'm pretty sure there's a twist with this Russian dude who was apparently the villain the whole time that John and Jack were taking along with them. And it was lame. And they were just generic Russians that have been in every action movie before. So, yeah, it's not a horrible movie. It's just kind of a forgettable one that doesn't really seem like the best way to take this franchise when there are other ways to take this franchise. For example, the son of Hans Gruber comes back, and he's played by Adam Driver. What else? And then, how about the son of Zeus Carver shows up, and he and Zeus, who would return, and John all team up to fight the son of Hans Gruber and the nephew of Simon Gruber from the third movie. And his name would be Klaus Gruber. I have this all planned. Yeah, I did not come up with that on the spot. I had thought about that previously. I think there was like a receptionist from John's police precinct in there in the original storyboard that I did. That's weird. Moving on. Good Day to Die Hard is not very good. I would like to see the franchise continue in a more meaningful way. Let's continue. Number 4 is Die Hard 2. It's okay. I mean, it's cool that it's a Christmas movie, like the first one. Yes, it is a Christmas movie. It snows. I don't think it snowed in the first movie. It took place in LA, but anyway. I don't know. I mean, there's some good stuff in here. I think the villains are okay. They're better than the ones in Good Day to Die Hard. Like, I kind of remember some of the stuff about the main villain played by, I believe, William Sadler, I think is his name. Yeah. And then there's a twist at the end involving one of the military guys, and it wasn't that necessary, but I don't remember if I saw it coming or not. Either way, meh twist, honestly. That said, it has a fun setting with an airport this time. There's this weird cop that follows around McClane and is just so charming and funny. And I cannot remember the guy's name. Oh, man, what's his name? I don't remember. Oh, crap. I'm going to remember it at, like, the second I finish recording this video. I'm going to be really mad. Yeah, he's this like, heavy set cop who follows John McClane around, and just is like, it's funny. It brings back, Holly Gennaro, as well as Richard Thornberg, one of the antagonists from the first film, and that's just a fun pairing to see them together. I think some of the authority figures that John faces here are pretty fun. But other than that, it feels more like one of those Die Hard knockoff movies, a lot of which have come out, than an actual sequel to Die Hard. The third one feels like more of a natural continuation of the first movie. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's fun. It's just not that interesting. There are some cool action sequences, I'll say that. Number 3, Live Free or Die Hard, or Die Hard 4.0 if you live in Britain. Yes, this is a good movie. I really enjoy the cast here. You got Cliff Curtis, Maggie Q, Timothy Oliphant as the villain. He's pretty fun. Kevin Smith, Kevin Smith. He shows up for, like, one scene. He's pretty funny. You got the addition of Matt Farrell, who goes around with McClane. He's played by Justin Long. And he's a pretty good addition. He's just nerdy and goofy, and you'd think he wouldn't go well with McClane at all. But the two actually work off of each other pretty naturally. And then you got his daughter in there, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And she's funny. I think, as I said before, I think what they do with the conflict with the two of them actually works pretty well. That said, I think some of the stunts here are pretty overblown. Like, they mention this in so many things. Like, The Office mentions this. In this movie, John McClane he's basically invincible. He's hanging onto planes and helicopters as they're flying in the air. He's jumping off of trucks and stuff. It's psychotic. He's battling people in an elevator shaft in a car. Like, none of this makes sense, but I can maybe buy into it. Like, I don't know. If the franchise doesn't really seem to be much of a franchise, they kind of just seem to be making them whenever they want, just because. I hope we get a 6th one, and I hope it's fun, but anyway. Yeah, and then I don't get why this one's rated PG-13. It didn't bother me sometimes, but it feels like, okay, this is going to sound weird, but I missed John McClane swearing a lot. Like, he drops the F-bombs so much in the previous 3 movies and in the 5th one, and it's like, okay, so it's like it's missing an integral part of his character. And I'm not saying that profanity is like a super integral part of his character, but it fits him. It really does. And, like, at the end of the movie, it's really lame. He's about to kill the villain, and it teases the yippee-ki-yay, that phrase, and it's like, okay, if you're just gonna taunt us with it, why not do what 20th Century Fox does nowadays, and just put, like, one F-bomb in the movie? Couldn't it have been that catchphrase that's so synonymous with John McClane? Give me a break. Anyway, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. Moving on. Number 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance. As I said, this feels like a real sequel to the original. It continues the story. It adds elements. The one thing that I don't really care about is, like, I don't remember a single character out in this movie outside of, like, the main 3, McClane, Zeus Carver, and Simon Peter Gruber. And I think I do sort of remember Gruber's, like, lieutenant, but that's it. Like, I don't remember any of the other people in this movie. I don't know if they were, like, actual characters, but that's how non-memorable they are, if they exist at all. But other than that, it's a really, really good movie. The action is great. It's a really good follow. I already said that. It is a good follow-up to the original film. You got some great performances in there. And then, like, you got some great additions here. First off, Simon Peter Gruber, played by Jeremy Irons. He's so much fun. And while he's not as memorable or menacing as Hans, he's still a really fun character. And Jeremy Irons just absolutely steals the show with him. I think the whole Simon Says plot is really, really pretty clever. And then you got Zeus Carver. Oh, man. Samuel L. Jackson oozes every bit of charisma he can muster for this character. And, like, most of the Samuel L. Jackson movies that I've seen, he hasn't been allowed to swear as much as he normally would. But here, he's just allowed to go over the top with it. And he really, really does. And it's such a great dynamic between him and John McClane, who John McClane in this movie feels about as close to the to how he was in the original as we're probably ever gonna get. Again, aside from the original movie, and the two just play off of each other so well. I really enjoy their dynamic. They're really funny together, and while it's not as good as the first movie, it's still a really good film. But number 1, without question, here is the original Die Hard. It's phenomenal. What can I say? There's, like, nothing wrong with it. I couldn't name a single thing. You got John McClane, iconic lead character. And if they'd cast someone who was, like, a big action star at the time, like a Schwarzenegger, a Lundgren, or a Stallone or someone like that, then it would have been like, okay, so this is just another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, or Sylvester Stallone, or whatever. But no, they got Bruce Willis, who at the time was doing, like, a sitcom. That's genius, and he's so good in this movie. Oh man, like he has so many funny one-liners, and he delivers all of them so well. And man, he is just perfect for this wisecracking and sarcastic jerk of a person. Yeah, John McClane is a jerk. You got some great side characters. Holly Gennaro, she's actually pretty good. And then, like, a lot of the, like, authority figures in this movie, you got, well, maybe just, like, secondary antagonists to the terrorists. You got Harry Ellis, an iconic, just sleazebag of a person. And you hate him. And it's so fun when he gets his brains blown out. What is wrong with me? Anyway, you got Richard Thornberg, who's just, like, exactly the same as Willie Matherton's character in Ghostbusters, but funny nonetheless. The principal from The Breakfast Club, he's exactly the same as the principal from The Breakfast Club. This is a much better movie than Breakfast Club, whatever. Anyway, he is great in this role. Paul Gleason is his name. He's awesome. You got the FBI agents, and of course, Al Powell, the ultimate confidant. and he's just fun. I really enjoy how when he talks to McClane, they just have they have really good chemistry, even though they never actually meet until the very end of the film. And man, it's just a great movie. The script here is like it's genuinely immaculate. Like, it's unbelievable how much that's set up in like the first portion of the movie kind of pays off at the end. You got like Argyle and other things. I gotta watch this movie again. I want to watch Die Hard. I'm doing it later sometime. I don't know. It's really funny. Of course, there's John McClane, but every character actually is pretty funny. The action is great. Best of the franchise, easily. Even though there's a lot of stuff that we do with CGI nowadays, this is just, it's fantastic. And it is a Christmas movie. I'm not budging on it. It's a Christmas movie. There's like, it references Christmas. It takes place on Christmas Eve. There's Christmas songs. The film ends with Let It Snow, for crying out loud. But yeah. And of course, you have a fantastic villain, one of the best villains in all of cinema, in Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman, who just does it so well. And he's so charming and funny and awesome. Oh man, every line delivery, it's just like, oh, I hate this guy and I want to see him get killed. But at the same time, I don't want him to leave because he's awesome. He's such a great character. And he has really good chemistry with McClane, which is weird to say because he's the villain, but like, there are just so many great exchanges between the two of them, where he's calling him Roy Rogers, and then like the way Rickman says Mr. McClane. That was a terrible Alan Rickman impression. And cancel Christmas. Yeah. That's not from this movie. It's from Robin and Prince of Thieves, but Alan Rickman is in it, and he's equally iconic. So yeah, Die Hard is great. Yeah. Remember to like and subscribe, please. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and keep calm and watch out.